Everybody, please put your hands together. Kicking off the show, the homie Gail Thomas.
So I'm waking up. It's another typical winter COVID morning. It's Tuesday or Saturday or Friday. I don't know. It's February. And I think maybe I drank too much the night before, but I figured this is the only way to make sitting on the couch alone really interesting and fun. There's a random Twitter thread of people saying, oh, during COVID, I've given up drinking. Well, good for them. I'm going to power through my own way. I'm fortunate. I have lots of work, so I'm losing myself in Zoom calls and emails and projects. And I know that I should meditate or journal, but I'm not ready to face my fears or enlightenment. So I do what I do every morning. I go straight from the bed to the coffee to the computer. And this morning I'm doing the same thing that I've been doing all week long is I'm looking for a vaccine appointment. I got to get my vaccine appointment. I want to see my mom on Easter. I want to see her for her 90th birthday. I got to get to Denver. But the whole family's been vaccinated, and I haven't. And what if they give me COVID? So I'm looking on the sites. I'm looking on the NYU vaccine site, and there's nothing. It's 65 or over. I don't meet the requirements. And then I go on TurboVax, and it's more of the same. I don't meet the requirements. So I think, okay, let me just go to my NYU MyChart portal and just see. I go to the MyChart portal. I look at the right corner of the computer, and there's a little button that says schedule vaccine appointment. I'm like, whoa, okay, really? I click on it, and then I click again, and there are locations, and there are times, and in 3 minutes, I have got a vaccine appointment. That same day, like in 3 hours. I have to shower. I have to put on regular clothes. I have to go to Manhattan. Oh my God, I'm like giddy. I'm like crazy. I'm like zoomies. I can't even focus. And then the mattress delivery guy calls and he says he wants to schedule that. And I'm like, dude, I can't talk. I'm hyper. I'm scared. I get off the phone. I gotta go. I gotta get the shot in my arm. And I think, well, I could ride my bike, but I don't want to get hit by a car on my way to my vaccine appointment. So I think, well, I'll take the subway. But that's also risky, but I'm going to do it. I'm double masking. I go to the subway. I get on the subway car. I try to pick the one without too many people, but everybody's about 2 feet apart. And I just try to breathe down because I don't want to get COVID on my way to my vaccine appointment. And then these 3 guys get on, and they, of course, their masks are falling off their noses, and I'm just trying to breathe down. I just got to get there. So I get to Midtown. I get off at the stop where I used to go for my chemo appointments. And it seems appropriate because I'm going to the same hospital where I used to go for my cancer treatments, because that's the reason that I got this appointment, the whole cancer in remission appointment. And I'm walking, and every step is a milestone. I get to the hospital. I'm across the street from the emergency room where I had to go for another thing. And I see a lady in blue scrubs standing next to me. And I ask her, I say, thank you for your service. And I say, what do you do? And she says, I do lung transplants. And I go, oh, really? Thank you for your service. And then I can't control myself. I'm like, I'm getting my COVID vaccine. I'm getting my vaccine. I feel this weird, crazy feeling inside. And she says, yeah, it's hope. And I'm like, oh, hope. Yeah. I go into the hospital, I check in, and I still can't believe that I'm actually going to get this thing. I cannot believe it. I follow these signs down this long hallway for COVID vaccine. And I get there, I get to the line, and it's like 30, 40 people ahead of me, and they're only, like 2 feet apart, but it has high ceilings, so that's sort of comforting. And I just hope that there's not a terrorist attack or an earthquake, because I just want to get my vaccine. I just want to see my mom. And finally, I get to the big room where it all happens. They motion for me to come in, and now people are like 6 feet apart, and I stand on the blue X, and then I stand on the next blue X, and then I stand on the next blue X, and then they motion me to go sit down at this little booth. That these booths are like they're curtained off, and I sit in the chair, and the 2 ladies, I say, oh man, you're my guardian angels. And the lady says, okay, so have you traveled much? Have you been out of the country? Have you had any symptoms? And I'm like, no. Are you tired? And she's like, yeah. I'm like, I've seen a lot of people. She's like, yeah. So I try to think of something funny to say, like, oh, you should eat candy. And she's like, yeah, this is what this is for. And they give me a shot in my arm. And I don't even feel it. And that's it. And I pull down my sleeve, and that's it. And I walk out of the hospital in Midtown, and I walk through Chelsea, and I walk downtown, and I walk across the bridge, and I walk all the way to Brooklyn. I stop to see the mattress delivery guy. I walk home, 8 miles home. I book a flight for Easter. I leave tomorrow. Hope is quite an energy boost, and I'm still getting used to it. Thank you.
Well done, well done. Love it. Kicking off the show right. Gail, before we get to your story, Matthew, if you could do me the favor and pick out a name from the hat so that the next seller has a little bit of time.
You bet.
Get ready.
All right. The next storyteller is going to be Amanda.
Amanda, you have 1 minute to get ready. You'll be up next. Gail, thank you so much for kicking off the show with that. It was beautiful.
Thank
Real
you.
hopeful story. I like the positive energy there. I felt all the tension that you felt throughout it. These are all like real moments that I think we all experience internally during this like pandemic, right? Like so many things that like a year ago we would have took for granted. The stakes are so much higher. Like you're noticing weird details, right? Like the 2 feet apart thing and the space up from the person in the ceiling. Those are all things that I think a year ago would have not been a descriptive point to kind of bring up. But now the stakes are higher. The moment that when you were in the train and you see the other 3 passengers come in with their masks low, like I felt that. And I just think I really love the job you did here of showing the real tension and danger that I think a lot of people would relate to that's unique to this period.
Thank you.
Kimberly, what'd you think of the story?
I love it, Gail. Thank you for sharing that with us. I also noticed particularly you chose to use the present tense, which really worked for me because it brought me through your state of mind. Like from the get-go, it was like, we're frenzied. Time is not moving the same way. There are big stakes here with your mom and COVID, and I felt your glee and disbelief that you got the appointment. And honestly, like up until you said you got the shot, I was like, is she really going to get it? What's going to happen? I really was. I was there with you. Thank you.
Matthew, how about you?
I loved, Gail, how you sort of inhabited the story. Not everyone sees their story when they tell their story, but I could feel like I was actually going through that process with you. And I've been vaccinated as an elementary school teacher, so I connected a lot with the idea that it's such a little thing. You took something which is essentially, I went to get my COVID shot, really. That's really all it was. But in the hands of a storyteller, you can really take something that seems pretty ordinary and make it pretty extraordinary. And I think that's what you did with this story, was take something that someone who isn't a storyteller might say it in 12 seconds, and you managed to take us through that whole trip. And I thought that was fantastic.
Thank you.
Yeah, really, really dope. Always a fan. With that said, travel safely. I hope you get there, safe and see the fam and enjoy that time. One more time, put your hands together for the homie Gail Thomas.
Thank you.